click is ETG. Eat the goose. Eat the goose. Yeah,
Introducing the 2 racks a week challenge.
Don't shoot. Which I need some proof. Just watch my videos, man.
Video and then,
2 racks a
just
week.
showing all your 2,500. I said, okay. All right, that's good with that.
68 hours, so it was $2,075.60.
I work like 70, I don't remember, like 73, 74 hours. I made like 3,400, close to 3,500.
I made $2,001.
62 hours, and I had 2,400.
Introducing the 2 racks a week challenge.
Alrighty. Ladies and gentlemen, here we have another winner of the 2 racks a week challenge, man. Here we have my life. Do a quick introduction. Let them know which platform you driving on, which market you driving in, and how much money did you make.
Okay. I'm in Philly.
She a little camera
shy.
She a little camera shy. So you in Philly? Which platform?
I'm doing Uber.
Okay, Philadelphia, driving Uber.
Mm-hmm.
And how long have you been driving Uber?
Only for a month.
Oh, damn, that's real.
Yeah,
you
so
made 2
I'm
racks
still
pretty quick
fairly
as hell.
new.
Oh wow, this
Yes.
gonna be a good interview. Go ahead.
Me and my husband actually came into this together. He started like a week before me, so we already had found your page and everything, and we went into this knowing that we wanted to do the 2 racks a week challenge.
Okay, nice. Shout out to both of y'all. How
Mm-hmm.
did y'all come across the 2 racks a week challenge?
YouTube, I guess. We were already kind of looking for something other than 9-to-5 jobs to kind of get us to where we needed to be, because I'm also a hairstylist, so
Okay.
2 racks a week is not something that's foreign to me.
Right.
I needed something that can compete with that, so we
Mm.
found he wound up talking to a couple Uber drivers one time, and very convinced, we started doing some research on it.
Okay, then y'all came across my channel.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out. Hell yeah, man. Because some people, they'll come across this, like when originally when you and your husband came across my content, like was it like, I wonder if he's capping or if he's lying or if he's working for the company. What was your original thoughts?
No cap.
Okay.
We saw the receipts, so receipts don't lie. As long as you
Right.
got the proof to say that you're making this much, then who am I to say that you're lying?
Right. No, that's cool because some people that they don't want to believe it. They think it's photoshopped or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I don't know. Like people, they weird because if I would have came across something like this years ago, I'm like, damn, how are they doing it? So all right, cool. So you got into it because you wanted something to compete with your other job as a hairstylist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then you got into
So,
it. Go ahead.
so originally I was doing I was working at a warehouse before this, along with doing hair. So I was at Amazon doing overnights. I still technically am there. I'm on a 45-day leave to try this out to see how it works. So obviously I'm convinced that it works. So I'll shortly be quitting there. But
Hell yeah.
yeah, I was
So
at a warehouse.
how many more days left do you have before you have to go back to Amazon?
I don't go back till the 13th, I think.
Oh, okay. So you got a little bit more time to enjoy this. Yeah. Now it's definitely gonna be hard for you to go back. And it's funny that you said like where Amazon warehouse, because it seemed like a lot of people have like warehouse or factory jobs. And even like the guy I talked to, 2 calls ago, he was at the Amazon warehouse. And I have, like a week or 2 experience at the Amazon warehouse myself. So I know how
Too.
how strenuous that work can be, and like, nah. So talk about some
Mhm.
of the, since you have been driving, you've been driving for a month. How long did it take you to make two? Well, yeah, obviously it took a month, right, that for you to make 2 racks a
Mhm.
week. Talk about that whole journey and that process because a lot of people they struggle with it.
Okay.
They may probably been driving for a few months, sometime even a few years, and they never hit $2,000, and you end up
Mhm.
doing it within a month. Like, how exactly did you go about doing it?
Well, I always hear you talk about maxing out on the hours, so I didn't necessarily have to max out on the hours to do that. I kind of gradually got into driving for longer periods of time as the weeks went out. Um,
Okay.
um, and if I had, something to do, I'll just drive for a little bit, even if it was for a few hours that day, and
Hmm.
continue on my day with doing whatever it is that I had to do. As long as I got out there and drove for a few hours, that was all that mattered. Um,
So
to be honest, I really just, you divide 2,000 by 7, and whatever you need to make for that day, that's what you need to make for that day. And if you need to make up for those days, make up for the days.
right, right, yeah, it's really not that difficult. People they overcomplicate
Mm.
this whole process. So well, now people, of course, they're gonna wonder, exactly how many hours did you do? So she was online for 67 hours, 16 minutes for 4,000. I'm sorry, $2,048. I said 4,000. I'm like, God damn, how did she
I
do
wish, right?
that? 67 hours, 16 minutes for $2,048. And I'm gonna show y'all the screenshot. Let me change the focus on this camera. So y'all see it right there, bam. And y'all see her name. So y'all know it's not random, it's not made up. These are real people with showing real results. So 67 hours, man, that's a lot of people look at that, but man, that's too much. I don't want to, I don't want to drive that many hours. You know, that's almost 70 hours. So you're looking at close to
Mhm.
30 hours more than what most full-time workers will work. So how
Mhm.
easy or how difficult was that for you to accomplish?
I'm used to working long hours anyway.
Hmm.
The warehouse is 10-hour shifts, and then like I said, I'm a hairstylist, so I'm on my feet all day. If I have
Mm.
back to back to back clients all day, my days could run, 12 hours, 16 hours a day, depending on what I'm doing. So
Yeah.
driving for that amount of time is nothing compared to, the other things I'm used to.
Right. And that's a good perspective because, you in the car, I assume that you enjoying it, you having fun. Passengers are generally nice, down to earth, chill, and compared to being on your feet all day. It's the work is
Hmm.
totally different, man. And like you said, you got close to 70 hours. Is that one of the most, I mean, like the heaviest load of work that you had in a particular week, or you actually worked longer hours than that?
I work longer hours than this. Like I said,
Okay.
the I was doing hair and Amazon at the same time. So just imagine doing
Yeah.
10-hour shifts overnight, and then you up on your feet for over 8 hours. I was doing more than 2 clients a day. So and then trying to go home, get some sleep, and repeat all over again.
Mm.
It was a lot.
Damn, man. Yeah, that is a lot. And like, now, I assume that you're gonna probably be doing this, like you said, you're gonna get rid of the Amazon, and you have something to
Hmm.
to replace the Amazon, warehouse job, and free up some time. You're not always on your feet,
Hmm.
and I think that's beneficial. So now people want to probably hear like some like the strategies that you implement. Are you waking up early? Like, what exactly uh did you go to do? Make $2,000, and especially within, I'll probably say 3 weeks, because your first week is probably like a learning curve. So a couple weeks
Hmm.
later, bam, now you hit $2,000. Like, talk about the time that you wake up.
Well, I'm usually out the house around 5 o'clock in the morning. Um, the city is always busy, especially in the morning time. You got people going to the airport and stuff like
Mhm.
that. You know, I literally live dead smack in the middle of the city
Mm,
where all the action happens. You have people coming in to do the, the bus tours and all different types of stuff. So
okay.
I'm outside 5 o'clock in the morning. There's people outside 5 o'clock in the morning. So
Yep.
I try to drive until the stock market opens up, which is around like 9:30. I'll take
Mhm.
a break, charge, eat. I'll do all that at the same time while I'm charging, and then I'll get back out there.
Okay. Nice. See, like I always say, man, if you get an early start, um, I think an early start will help people like momentum throughout the day because
Hmm.
you up early, you getting because like let's say because it's 10 o'clock over there right now. So you could
Hmm.
do 3 4 hours, and people some of people they just not waking up, about to head to work, and you got like 30%, sometime even 40% of your day done, just from the early start. So the reason I bring that up because a lot of people, they're lazy for one. For two, they hear like the 67 hours and they're like, oh man, it's like they already, take themselves out the game for thinking it's so difficult. But if you start early, it will help their momentum and make things a lot easier to execute and
Right,
achieve
absolutely.
those type of hours.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's been plenty of days of where I'm pretty sure I went home and took a nap and everything.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing to wake up early because you can stop whenever you want to. You're not obligated to sit in the car and drive all day.
Right,
You
right.
can literally stop when you want.
Exactly. Like you have the free will to do whatever you want. You can implement whatever strategy that you
Hmm.
want. Um, so the choice is yours. Another thing that a lot of people focus on is what type of trips are you accepting and declining? Like, do you have like certain requirements for yourself personally on what trips you will accept, or you just pretty much accept everything?
Uh, I at first I was declining a lot of trips. I'm not gonna lie. Like my first week,
Yeah.
I was going off on declining trips.
Okay.
I wasn't trying to take anything. But after a while, I'm just like, all right, let me just drive. I started accepting everything. Little trips, not big trips. I don't do huge trips like 45 minutes and up. I won't
Okay.
take that. But other than that, anything lower than that, I'll take it.
What made you switch your strategy? Because you went from
My
declining,
husband was
be more.
making more than me.
Oh, he was.
Yes, he was tearing me up. And I'm like, how you there already? So I had to get out that declining stage and kind of like just be like, all right, let me just drive.
Okay. And where did this declining stage or declining strategy come from?
Listening to people online, those Uber Facebook groups and all
Yeah.
those miserable people out there that tell you
Hmm.
don't take this because this is a bad ride. And I'm sitting here thinking better stuff is gonna come, better stuff is gonna come, and nothing better ever came. So
Okay.
all of that stuff was useless.
Yeah, it really is, and especially if you knew, and that's
Hmm.
why a lot of people they disagree with some of my methods and some of my advice. Because I was like, look, if you knew, man, drive as many hours as possible for one,
Hmm.
and for two, just accept the trips. Just go with the flow. Get the feel for your market, get the feel for how it is to drive on Uber or Lyft, and you would actually start
Hmm.
to learn. You would start to see how the flow of things is going to go. Then later on, you could be more selective. Like the trip's always going to be there. So like, what is the rush?
Right.
And
Hmm.
then I think that's a lot of people on the internet and Facebook groups, Reddit groups. That's all they talk about. Oh, this not worth it. Look how much they're paying, and it just get people in that
Right.
mind frame. Oh, I'm just going to decline this, decline this, decline this. I'm like, damn, those 5 6 7 dollar rides, they can add up real fast.
Yeah,
Especially
they do add up fast.
yeah, especially if you get tips and if they less than what like 15 minutes, total for the pickup and drop off. Sometimes you
Hmm.
just have to do those, but I'm glad I'm
And that's the good thing about
Mhm.
living in the city. because a lot of the trips are so close together. Like literally dropping someone off, if I'm like 2 minutes or so from the destination, there's always somebody 60 seconds up the road that I have to pick up. So
Yeah,
nothing is ever too far. Like
right.
you're literally okay, you're going down the street 5 minutes, boom, you picking somebody up. Next thing you know, you drop that person off 10 minutes away, boom, you picking up somebody on that same corner. Like it's always a get in, get out situation.
Okay. Yeah, then you had your husband as somebody to compare and to compete with.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, because a lot of people like, damn, okay, if you mentioned he was tearing you up, has he made 2,000?
He had this. So once I got out at that stage, I kind of, I started getting them. So
Okay,
I made the 2 racks before him. He is. I'm pretty sure he'll be there this week.
okay,
So
good.
he not too far behind. He's
Yeah,
definitely not too far behind.
we gotta get him on as well, so we can hear his thoughts
Hmm.
and hear how he do it. So once you beat him to it, and I think you're the second person to mention it, who isn't either married or in a relationship, and beat their significant other to the 2 racks a week mark. How did he react? What was his words to you?
He was happy. He
Okay.
was definitely happy. Yes, he kept. We had took my car to go get some food, and he's like, "Oh, so this what it feel like to be in the 2 racks a week car?" And I'm just like, "Shut up!" Like, but he was definitely happy and excited.
Oh, good man. And I like hearing. I know deep down inside, I'm like, dang, his brain maybe like a little bit like, oh, dang,
Hmm.
she got me, you know. But that's a good
Hmm.
thing, man. And I like hearing stuff like this. I know maybe like a year or two, somebody hit me up saying that him and his wife made 2 racks, but I could never get them on. But
Hmm.
hopefully y'all would be, the first couple to officially come on and, do the 2 racks a week. Then eventually, probably just do it as a couple. I think that would be cool. Show couples
Hmm.
actually both who can make 2 racks a week come on, share their story. Because people they need to hear this and they need to see what's possible. And
Hmm.
and especially it will symbolize, working together, holding each other accountable, like motivating, like pushing each other. Because a lot of people they hear, oh, you an Uber driver. Like what? That's not a real job. But y'all,
Hmm.
y'all in it together. Hey man, we need to make some money. Oh, we could drive Uber to make this. Let's get it. And I like that. There's too many people latch on to these job titles, and it's like it's just
Hmm.
a name. That's all it is.
Yeah, it definitely is just a name. Because if you making money, you making money.
Mm-hmm. So what? So I know you mentioned that you do 2 jobs, and that's a lot of hours. So what keeps you motivated? Like what's your why? Like why are you working so hard?
Um, I'm 23.
Okay.
So I always had the mindset of not being like too old and not having my stuff together. Like
Mm,
I want to be able to buy my house while I'm young. I want to be able to travel while I'm young. I want to be able to get my investment portfolio up there while I'm young.
yeah.
Like all that, wait till I'm 30s and 40s and be out here, clubbing and stuff like everybody else. Mm-mm. I'm cool off all that. I'm trying to do that, when I'm older. Let me be the older lady in the club, not the young girl broke. You get what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. No, no, I think that's a good perspective because, like, once you're older and established, like, clubbing gonna be a lot different because you're gonna dress a lot
Mhm.
differently. You're gonna be around
Mhm.
in different clubs. You can have your own little
Mhm.
section. You don't have to worry about, people. So I definitely get it. And you
Exactly.
definitely ahead of the curve because a lot of people they don't have this mindset either. Even
Mhm.
people in their 40s, you know, people just lost. And I'm glad to see that you have some type of, vision. That's always, preach, having some type of goal or some type of vision for yourself. And that's going to help
Mhm.
you stay on track, stay focused. Because if you only get into this thinking you're going to drive just to make money, it's not going to last for long because
Right.
most people, they can't be self-reliant and they going to quit. And oh man, it's too much work. Oh, it's a scam, and next you know, they're gonna end up in a Facebook group talking shit.
Mhm. Like
That's
the
all I
rest of them do. Yeah, I
yeah.
definitely see that a lot. A lot of people don't have a end game to this, and it's just like you definitely can't drive forever, especially because you never know when your time is up on the app, when they'll kick you off. You
Mm.
know, anything could happen. You could get into a car accident to the point where you can't work for the next few weeks. Then what?
Yeah, that
You just,
yep.
out of no money.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a good point because, you're on the time limit. We don't know when it will
Mhm.
end. So might as well get your money and, work on some valuable skills while you're
Mhm.
driving. And another thing, since you've seen both sides from the perspective of being a driver and also what people talk about in these groups. So out of all the comments that you read and people and seen all the complaints, what are your thoughts as far as do you think most people are full of shit? Like what? What are your thoughts on that?
I think most people are just miserable.
Yeah,
Like, I think they don't like seeing people's accomplishments. And once they do, it makes them envy, they're jealous because they can't necessarily do the same things. Like, I mean, if you just get up and you grind like everybody else do, you'll be perfectly fine. You'll be happy too.
yeah.
But they like to sit in their misery. Most people do. It's easier.
Yep.
So,
You hit the nail on the head. Absolutely. And that's one thing I learned about it because you can have a group with this 15, 20, sometimes like 100, like
mhm,
300,000 people in there. And most of them are just complaining, talking shit. And if you put a negative
mhm,
comment, people would chime in and it's like a powwow. But, go to one of those groups and show that you made $2,000. Like post your screenshot, you're gonna get
mhm.
a few responses. How much did will you're not, that 2,000 isn't really 2,000 because you didn't factor in blah blah blah. How much did you spend
Right,
in gas?
exactly.
Well, that's a lot of
Mhm,
hours. So what about the depreciation? Or you can't sustain that. And
mhm,
it's like, dang.
mhm,
And you're right. People they don't want to see you win. And it's sad. And that's why most people are in the position that they're in now, based on the way they think and misery loves company. Like I said, you could post that your results, and you won't get too many people that's gonna ask you how did you do it. Like, hey, like what marketing are you in? How did you do it? Can you help me? You're not gonna get too many of those. It's gonna be the
mhm.
opposite, and it's a damn shame. And you only
Yeah, I
been
mean,
doing it for a month.
uh-huh. I mean, people that think like that, I feel like you'll never get anything accomplished if you think about the okay, what if, or let me factor in this, let me factor in that. It's the same thing with business. If you keep having all these little ideas spark off your head, you're never gonna do what you want to accomplish because you keep having why and if in your head.
Right.
Stuff like that don't work.
Yeah, yeah. People they just
Add up
they
those
just
numbers
yep.
later.
Yeah, they just get caught in their head. Most people never execute, and most people don't have any type of like you
Mhm,
said, long term goal. And people they definitely overcomplicate this. It's like, man, you sign on,
mhm,
you make money. Like you're guaranteed to make
right.
money. It's really that easy. But they
Mhm,
overcomplicate it because they get caught up in their heads. And I truly believe people are sick and they look for reasons not to make money. They focus
mhm.
on declining a bunch of trips, or they would just sit in one spot. Like, why don't you move around? I don't want to burn gas. Like, bro, you are a driver. Like, what are you talking about?
Right,
Burning gas
exactly.
or
That's
waste
what you do.
gas?
You burn gas all day. That's your
Yeah,
job. I've
and
literally had people ask me so many questions, like especially about the taxes. Okay, everybody knows that you have to pay taxes no matter what you do. Take small amounts out of what you make every week. If everybody know that taxes is 26 or 27%, then take that out of your pay every week. I don't know, or do it every 2 weeks if you want to.
yeah,
That's your business. So how you do it at the end of the day. Um, People ask me about this rental all the time. I get so tired of those Tesla haters. The rental is not a thing that's supposed to be meant to do forever. You
right,
get in and you get out. You
right,
get in, you get out.
right. No,
Like eventually you
hmm
could buy your own Tesla if you want to. Like it's not that deep. And people are like, okay, well, what about the battery? the battery has a number on it, whether it's 22,000 or whether it's 25,000. If you know that the battery is going to go out eventually, which is not soon, you're not going to get a car and your battery is going to go out in a month.
Right.
That's not realistic. Give it a year, give it a two. If you put that $20,000 up for that battery later on, congratulations. If you didn't, you suck. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, the most important thing of everything you just mentioned is people they worry about stuff that's probably not gonna happen.
Mhm.
Like the battery going, like, come on now. Like what are the chances of that really happening to a person? Most people
Mhm.
don't even drive enough, so how the fuck the battery gonna go out?
Exactly.
Like you're not even driving.
Exactly.
And as far as taxes, a lot of this whole tax talk, it comes from ignorance. Like you're not going to
Mhm.
spend 26, 20, 30%. That's a lie. That is a lie because you
Mhm.
have deductions. And especially if you have,
Exactly. Exactly.
other businesses, you know,
Mhm.
and that's what I'm saying. A lot of people, they just speak out of ignorance, no true experience,
Mhm.
based off he said, she said, or what they try to do is confirm their own biases by making up lies. Like, what about
Mhm.
like the because they know they can't do it. They're envious of you, and they want to sit up here and rash try to rationalize their decisions by coming up with all these excuses. And it's like, okay, well, you can focus on that. I'm gonna focus on, you know, getting this money and becoming better.
Mhm.
And then it's sad because people they focus on these irrelevant things instead of focus on the growth. You know,
Right.
I think a lot of people could truly grow from, driving if they really care about it. If they have some goals, because how many jobs right now that you could sign up on, then like, within a month, you made your first $2,000 in a week. Like now,
Mhm.
okay, this how long this what I have to do. This how many hours approximately I have to do. How many jobs can you do like right now without any significant education, or
Mm.
you have to have a relationship to even get an interview?
Mhm.
Not too many. So people
Yeah,
they don't
absolutely.
they don't take advantage of
Mhm. They definitely don't. Definitely
it.
don't.
Oh man. So how many trips you have total? You probably have like what, like 300, 500 on your account?
I think I'm almost at 600.
Okay, nice. Almost at 600. Some of y'all out here got thousands of trips, still ain't made 2 racks. Y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself. So obviously y'all doing something. Obviously y'all doing something wrong. So I know since your experience is kind of limited, what are some of the characteristics you think drivers need to have to make $2,000 or more in a week?
Um, Shoot, to be honest, I don't know. I've been seeing all different types of drivers. Angry drivers, patient drivers.
Yeah.
Um, I would say just being friendly and definitely patient.
Hmm.
Because if you're not patient, then it's kind of like, you're
Yeah.
antsy all day, and then
Yeah.
you're just not gonna want to drive.
Right.
You definitely have to have the motivation. You have to be, goal driven in order to do this.
Absolutely. No, no, and that's right. Patience, man. I think a lot of people underestimate the type of patience that you have from doing this because you're dealing with all kind of personalities,
Hmm.
different personalities each and every day. And most importantly, shit, you got different personalities your damn self. So
Exactly.
sometimes
Yeah.
when you drive, you're like, oh, here we go. Like you're not always in the mood, but yet you get out there. But then your mood can brighten up, and it could be enjoyable. So, patience for sure. And if you out there, negative like headspace, you focus on the wrong things. You focus trying to ask passengers how much they getting paid per this trip, and you trying to
Hmm.
compare and contrast. You gonna be in a losing. You playing a losing game. And it's gonna definitely hinder your experience. So I say the characteristics that I think drivers need to have is definitely one, number one is a goal, man. You definitely have to have some type of goal because if you don't know why you're doing this, you don't have a purpose. Trust me, a purpose will be defined for you. Either you're gonna
Hmm.
quit, you're gonna work somewhere else, or work for somebody else, and you're gonna work on their purpose.
Hmm.
So you definitely have to have a goal and a purpose, and doing that, act on it, and get out there. Have fun, man. Y'all. A lot of people they overcomplicate. Like I said, it could be enjoyable. You talking to people. You could pretty much talk about anything. Honestly, I know some people like, oh, no, I'll avoid certain conversations. Yeah, sure, but surprisingly, most people bring these conversations up.
Hmm.
People about I don't talk about politics or religion. I don't really talk about it, but people always bring them up for whatever reason. I don't. They always bring it up, and
Hmm.
so you could, just rock out and enjoy the process. Because what's the alternative, right? Let's say if you couldn't drive, one, now you're not on your time, and two, now you don't have the capabilities to make $2,000 or more. So then what would they do? Like, where else would you work?
Hmm.
People they don't
Yeah,
consider that.
because not a lot of jobs are paying good to begin with. So
Yeah.
I think Uber pays a decent amount, and a lot of people complain about that.
Yep. Yeah. So look
Like
at it
I
from that.
don't I don't know
Mhm.
how it was in the past. I always hear the years ago they were paying this and paying that. I don't know how it was then, but now I still don't even think it's that bad, like compared to a regular 9 to 5.
Yeah, it's really not. I mean, yeah, years ago they was paying better, but I think it was from like the incentives, that they was having.
Hmm.
Like the incentives were, a lot more, but you could still get out here and make some money. And instead of, most people focusing on what happened in the past is the past. That's first and foremost. And
Hmm.
secondly, if you are pissed off, use that anger and frustration and to putting it in yourself. That's the only thing you can
Hmm.
do. Direct that anger into, yourself and your growth and your and things that you're learning, is because you're not gonna change the company. Like they
Right.
got more manpower and they got more money than you, and you know, so and you still not gonna be happy even if they paid you more money, because you're still not gonna drive, because it's still
Exactly.
gonna be the same excuses: depreciation,
Hmm.
taxes, wear and tear of your car, and you can't sustain this sitting down that long. It's gonna be the same thing. So
Hmm.
people losing. But yeah, a couple more questions, then we'll get up out of here because I know you're charging, and I know how these charging stations work. They might try to overcharge you if you stay there too long. So
Yeah.
so first question is, why do you think this challenge is so important?
Um, just to show people that, you can like I know life is hard right now for a lot of people, especially after the pandemic. Like it's not impossible to still make money out here with doing regular stuff like driving, because I
Mhm.
feel like drivers have like a little bit of a bad rep, and
Yeah,
people think that they might not get paid, as much as other people. In reality, you get better paid than that person that you just picked up from, that mall that they're working at, or the Kohl's that they're
yeah,
working at, or Wawa they working at, so
hmm
it's that misconception of the pay. I think that's important, and even the freedom part of it. You're not stuck or glued to a job. You're not obligated to work the next day. Stuff like that. So the freedom that comes with it, the pay. That I think that's the most important things that come with the two racks a week challenge, because you can invest in yourself and still determine your schedule.
yeah. That's a great perspective. Definitely the pay, man. People are misguided on how much drivers could really make, and
Hmm.
and it's the driver's fault, because a lot of people they really don't work at it. They get on, oh, this doesn't work. It's a scam. It's too saturated, and they start telling these passengers these type of stories, and so passengers they be like, oh damn, you can't really make money driving. And it's funny because every now and then I'll ask like, how much money you think an Uber driver can make? And like $500. I was like, in a month, like $500. Either you're
Yeah,
stupid
500 is crazy.
or I think most people are just stupid. They can't do math. Like
Mhm.
$100, like $125 in a week. Like, come on, not $500 in a month. Oh, maybe like 2,000 in a month. I'm like, what? So, and they hear and they get these thoughts from these drivers who not really out here putting the work in and
Mhm.
trying to better themselves, man. Like I always say, man, you got 84 hours in a week to really maximize this. And a lot of times they end up letting you drive over that. So you could really drive 87, 89, maybe 90 hours a
Mhm.
week, depending on if you roll over the 12 hours on certain days. So it's up to you, man. Like you could make money. 2 racks a week is $286 a day. So shit, how bad do you want it? Do you think you could make that?
Mhm.
Maybe, maybe not, man. The choice is yours.
Right.
And if you don't make, what's waiting for you. You're gonna go to a job. Then you talk about taxes from driving Uber. What about taxes at a job? Because you're gonna be taxed right
It will
away
tear you
as an
up.
employee. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. You're gonna pay fucking state tax. You're gonna pay federal
Mhm.
tax, and you
Mhm.
get taxed more than doing this, man. So really pick and choose your poison. And like she said, you got the choice. You got the choice to do this. You got the choice not to do it. You don't even have to work. You can just stay home, and be a bum.
Mhm.
Yeah. So nobody's forcing you to do anything, man. And one last thing, man, any words of advice, words of wisdom, that you want to share with the people who are looking to drive, who hasn't made 2 racks a week yet. I mean, shit. You're not even 600 trips and you already made it. So talk your shit.
Talk your shit. I don't really have anything to say but to just drive. Like, don't worry about nobody else. Don't worry about what Uber is taking up off the top. Nobody cares
Mhm.
about that. Just drive, worry about yourself, worry about your goals. That is the only thing that matters. You gotta put your blinders on when it comes to your vision and what you have going on.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you stuck in other people's sauce and you don't know the flavor. Then what happens?
Yep. I
You know,
like
you
that.
got bad taste in your mouth. So people gotta they gotta chill off other people's business. Like worry about yourself.
Yeah, I like that. You stuck in other people's sauce, and that's true, man. I mean, if you sitting up here focus on what Uber is getting per cut, you're lost, and you think they're
Hmm.
not going to get their cut. Duh, it's a business. They in it to maximize profits. They not in it to make you happy.
Yeah, just like any other business. And people have to understand that. If you were to work at a regular 9 to 5 job, they are taking just as much as Uber is. If you work at McDonald's and you're getting paid $15 an hour, I promise you it only costs 35 cents to make that Big Mac. I was a manager at McDonald's before.
Okay.
It costs them nothing to make the food. They pay their workers nothing compared to what they make. So it's just like any other corporate business. Why
Yep.
are you worried about what they're making? You should be worried about what you're making. You should
Yeah.
be worried about how many hours you're going to work this week. You should be worried about how much gas you have to put in your car.
Absolutely. And
Like,
that's
don't worry about
yeah.
nobody else or the business.
See, a lot of people they gonna miss that game because worry about what you're making, man. Because it's like I said, you're
Mm-hmm.
not gonna change the structure of how it is. Even if it do change, you still not gonna get paid what you think you worth. So
Mm-hmm.
only you are gonna give yourself the results that you think you desire. Because like you said, it costs nothing to make those Big Macs and fries and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's no point in you blaming the company for, oh well, they exploit us because we racking up all the or making all these burgers. I ring them up on the register, making thousands of dollars a day, and I only get $15 an hour. Well, who fault is that? Can't blame
Right.
McDonald's. Or you can't blame Uber. You can't blame any company because that's what you chose to do. So in
Right. You signed
reality,
that
you exploit.
contract
Yeah,
for.
you exploiting yourself. And if you don't
Mm-hmm.
like it, change it. You know. And
100%.
yeah, and I'm pretty much gonna end it like this. Nobody exploits you. You only exploit yourself because you made a conscious decision to do this, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not just as simple as, oh, I'm just gonna put my email, my number in, and I'm driving. No, you gotta go through a background check. You gotta get your
Mm-hmm.
vehicle checked. So you got to
The
do
whole
some.
9 yards.
Yeah, you got to do. You got to go through the requirements to do this. So you made a decision to do this, but now you don't want to do it because you think it's hard, or you you let other people dictate your thoughts. And
Mhm.
once you do that, you let the wrong people dictate your thoughts. You end up losing, and you don't make 2 racks a week, and you sitting in there miserable, and you on Reddit or Facebook groups talking shit, mad, why you do nothing. So that's just how it is, man. Winners win, losers lose, but we gonna continue to keep winning over here. The choice is yours, man. Win or lose. That's all I really have to say. But I want to thank you for coming on, sharing your
No
story, dropping
problem.
some gems. Shout out to Philly.
Mhm.
I think he maybe like the second or third. Let me see real quick, how many people we got in Philly while I'm up on here. Let me check. See how many people in Philly. I know we had one person. Oh, so you're gonna be the third. Okay. You're gonna be the third
Okay.
Philadelphia, and maybe your husband be the fourth. So
Mhm.
now he gotta make it because you made it. So, make sure
Oh, he
you
don't have a choice.
uh, oh damn. So he don't got
He
the
ain't got a
choice.
choice.
Yeah, he represented. So yeah, okay, yeah, he ain't got a choice. So hopefully I'll be talking to him very soon. But thanks
Mhm.
again for coming on, sharing your story. And that's pretty much it. Ronnie Speed, over and out. Mr. 2 racks a week. Holla back. Peace.
2 racks a week. Ronnie Speed. Yeah, Ronnie Speed. 60 hours.